Alert today a great opportunity on Bitcoin and Ethereum with a gain of 180%. This is exactly what we offer in the club to generate up to 10% gains on your savings per month with all the content and how we perform this little miracle. Well, we create liquidity pools, we provide liquidity. There are exchanges that occur between the two currencies, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Each time an exchange commission is paid, it's a form of market maker, and at that moment we receive the commission. If you don't know how to do DeFi and you want to understand everything, obviously in the community, we have a whole training content with 96 lessons, live sessions, reports, and actually we scrutinize the market for you. We look at what the opportunities are, we share our actions, and then you are free and autonomous to be able to place your funds yourself between 5 and 10% per month. So let's see what's happening. Bitcoin made a nice move yesterday during the day, which confirms what we call a bear flag. Bear flag is when the price oscillates like this in this flag for a while, then when it breaks, it will go to the previous support. But during this time and this range, there will be a lot of exchanges between currencies, and we will be able to generate nice gains. So we have a major support here at 74,559, which corresponds to an arrow from April 9th last year, from which the price had pumped. At the moment, it becomes a resistance. The price has just approached it strongly. And so we think that following this acceleration, there will be a retracement here towards $68,920 for Bitcoin. We have an open imbalance. So these are struggles between the bidders and between the buyers and sellers on the prices. Often the price comes back to this type of indicator. So we have a bear flag that is confirmed since we had a higher low than a higher high. So now we just reached a higher price. So it is very likely that the price will come back. This allows us to define a range here between $64,000 and $76,000 to enter a liquidity pool and set a stop loss in case of a price break of 64,000 to avoid confirming a capital loss if it goes down to 58,000 and a bit lower afterward. So we will be able to play these two opportunities, and you will see that there are nice yields to be made. In terms of volume on Bitcoin, we see that yesterday it exceeded the 30-day average volume. So there is a nice positive intention. It's been a long time since we've had such a volume since last February 7th. It's rather a good timing, but what is absolutely necessary is also knowing how to be patient to enter properly since we're buying a crypto and waiting for this retracement. So for Bitcoin, it will be 64,000, 76,000. We keep that in mind for the liquidity pools and our ranges. Second opportunity, well, on Ethereum, we have a similar setup with a huge support here at 2,112 as well, which was touched, but it was breached and the price came back inside. So these are really prices that have been sought as support for a very long time. Look here in 2025 in June, in March. So there you go. It's a major support that has just been crossed, which is rather positive. In the same way as the price really made a big acceleration yesterday, there is a strong chance that we will have a retracement. And in addition, there is still an open e-balance here from the struggles of suppliers, demanders, and sellers here at 2060. We see that on the Ichimoku, which we look at a lot in the community here. I have the Tenkan here at 2015. I would still put myself rather here at the bottom at 1917, because on this bear flag drawn in blue, there is a higher low. We could have a slightly higher low around here towards 1900, 1890. It would be a good entry point. And then at that moment, I would set up a range to go for the rebound at the top of the bear flag.
Here at 2,231.
So that gives me a range of 1,855 to 2,231. So let's see with this type of range and opportunities, what it can yield in terms of returns. So here I found a pool on Bitcoin in USDC. So there I associate a variable crypto with a stable coin on Ethereum on Uniswap with our famous range 64,000 to 76,000. I have an annual percentage rate of 130%. If you place $10,000 today in this liquidity pool for 30 days, you will generate 10.70% yield, 1,100. So you would have 11,069. If the price of Bitcoin does not vary, however, if it goes from the bottom of the range to the top, it will complement your gains. Obviously, we think about setting a stop loss. On Ethereum, I looked at two liquidity pools, one on the base blockchain. Similarly, if you don't know how to go on blockchains to modify, transfer, bridge your cryptos from one blockchain to another, we explain that in the community, you know. So similarly on this pool, we have a nice APR, this time of 218% with our famous ranges 1,848, 1,846, 2,230. And so, well, if I place $10,000, it would give me a return of 18% in the next 30 days if the range and the flag hold. So, well, also a very, very nice opportunity. For those who wanted to have some Bitcoin, so on Ethereum, excuse me, I also saw on the Ethereum blockchain this time. So here we have a PR of 124%, which is slightly lower than the base blockchain. And if we place 10,000, we will make more than 10%. So we are still aiming to earn between 5 and 10% return per month on our savings. For those who would like to play a Bitcoin Ethereum liquidity pool, here is the range I would set up, 32.35. So this is a price ratio between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So at TX, 35 Ethereum to make one Bitcoin or 32 Ethereum to make one Bitcoin. We see that we would remain in range on these price ratios 32-35. And so in terms of liquidity pool on this ratio, 32-35 on a liquidity pool on the Arbitrum blockchain this time, I have an APR of 82%. So that's quite interesting, but less interesting than what we saw on the USIC pools. I will still make an APR of a return of 6.78% over the next 30 days. On the Ethereum blockchain, still on the Bitcoin Ethereum pool, there I would have a return of 85%, so a yield of 7%. So that's still, if the prices don't move, if the two asset prices, as we will have entered well, having patiently waited for the price retracement towards our support, so they are around 1,900 on Ethereum and around 69,000 on Bitcoin. At that moment, there is a strong chance that the price will also appreciate, and the price appreciation will come also accelerate your returns, since we can have a price increase if we reach the orange high at 10% on Bitcoin and on Ethereum. In the same way, if we reach the top of the range, I have a potential price appreciation of 17%. So while waiting for this price appreciation, well, while it's in range, you see, we will make yields. And look here at what we are setting up for the community. We are already in a range between 1,800 and 2,124. And it's been almost 1 to 3 since February 5th. So today is March 5th. It's been a full month in range. So while some are waiting and not earning by keeping their cryptos and not putting them in liquidity pools, others can make nice gains. If you want to understand everything, have the strategies, set up your flying wheel, look together at what opportunities there might be for your portfolio, what type of strategy, what profile you have. You can, of course, click on a link to book a call or join us in the community. Take care and seize this great opportunity while remaining patient.